Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor to be with Tonya Jahnke, who is a registered nurse of 22 years. Tonya is passionate about keeping families healthy and happy together through sharing the whole food nutrition of Juice Plus. She is passionate about sharing the Tower Garden, where you can grow your own food year-round in your kitchen or on the patio with zero dirt and zero chemicals. We have to talk about that. Tonya has also been happily married to Corey Jahnke for almost 27 years, and they have one son, 17-year-old Christopher. And he probably knows how to pronounce your last name better than I do. I apologize for kind of beating it up there. And she is also an owner of two sweet pups who fill her life with love and fun. I am so grateful to have you here with me, Tonya. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Nada. This is my honor and pleasure. I'm so excited to be here and chatting with you today.
Oh, yes, me too. So this is because we have just recently been connected. So I really don't know you. I mean, in fact, I know you so little that you and I might pass by one another in a shopping store and I may not even recognize you. It might take me a little bit. So totally, really kind of brand new to me. So I want to dive into a couple of things here that I know that you are doing and that you are going through. So for one, you are a nurse and you became a nurse like 22 years ago. My goodness, that's a long time. So thank you for all of the work that you're doing, especially now in this time that we're in. And a while ago, you became interested and actually became a health coach. So can you tell us about that? How did you become a health coach?
Well, I have been sharing Juice Plus for about 5.5 years. And before that, I was on a health journey. And I had actually, if you want to start back when I was a teen, I started smoking cigarettes when I was 16 years old. And I led a very unhealthy lifestyle. I was a waitressing. And when I'd get up in the morning, I would drink Coca-Cola and eat Reese's peanut butter cups, and I lived on Doritos.
Oh, wow.
Terrible. I was very unhealthy, but that is just what my life was, and that's how I lived. And as I had more birthdays and became smarter and met my husband, my now husband, and like I said, we've been together for almost 29 years, married 27 years in July. And he taught me, he was an athlete, or he is an athlete, and he taught me how to work out. And one of our very first dates where we went to play racquetball. And it was kind of funny because I didn't even really know what racquetball was. And I was 21 at the time. Yeah. I had no tennis shoes. I had to dig out things that I wore in high school. I don't even know what I wore to the racquetball court. Well, needless to say, he kicked my behind. I just stood there and tried not to get hit by the ball.
Tonya, was it one of those things like, I don't know how to play, I don't know what it is, I have no idea what I'm doing, but you're cute and I'm going to go and play because you're cute?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
So I'm like, oh, okay, we'll do that. So, but eventually I learned, how to take better care of myself. And then I decided to become a nurse. So I quit smoking, I quit the alcohol drinking, and really started to take my health a little more seriously. And it still, of course, wasn't perfect. I decided to go on a vegan diet, and I've been plant-based diet having that kind of diet regimen for over 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
And not to say that I don't eat some chicken or some seafood here and there, like a couple of times a year or something. That's but mostly plant-based, I'd say over 95% of the time. And I just do that for my health and health reasons. But when I was introduced to Juice Plus, I was eating a plant-based diet, and that made sense to me to start eating something whole food based. But then I just knew that I wanted to do something even more and share how I had developed my healthy habits. Because to me, it just seemed like this is what I do. I run, I work out, I eat healthily, I drink water. And I really wanted to share that with other people because I was an OB nurse for 18 years. And then now the last 4 years, I've been in the cardiac unit. And I've seen so many patients that have suffered from poor health due to poor nutrition and their lifestyle. And I just wanted to help people on a deeper level in that way.
Yeah.
So that's where Healthy Habits Girl came in.
Okay. So you've been doing the Healthy Habits Girl for how long has that been?
It's been about a solid year. I did it for a solid year now, and now I haven't. I kind of not stopped, but my last group was in March.
Okay.
So
So now
a little over a year.
Okay. And then there's something about being a coach that is like, this isn't your calling, right? Is that kind of what you stumbled upon? Because I love how in the brief conversations that we've had, this is what's come up, just like, oh my gosh, I tried that and this just isn't a fit, or this isn't, it's close, but this isn't really what I want to do. And I think so many people, we find ourselves, and especially, like, I shouldn't say that. I know for women that I speak to, we get to a certain stage in our life and we start saying, I want something different, or I want something more or more fulfilling, or something. I can't even really put my finger on it, but something else than what I'm doing. And then we kind of struggle and flail around trying to find that thing. Is that kind of what's happening with the coaching, or is it, how would you describe where you're at with the coaching right now, since you wrapped up your last group in March and we're in May, right? Yep.
That's what it was. I really was, I hired a business coach and she guided me. She helped me kind of launch it. But it was really, I felt like I really had to fight every step of the way. And my husband is a life coach as well. And he knew all the background, like how to develop a email list, I did webinars, I created PowerPoints, beautiful PowerPoints. I was very creative. But as much as my heart was into helping the women that I was guiding and that were within my group, I just felt like I was really just at my, like, the end of my rope. I was tired a lot. And I started to see my healthy habits that I have created and keep me like in a steady, healthy balance. I started to see those kind of drop off. I wasn't getting the sleep. I was more stressed. I wasn't getting my family time. I wasn't getting my meditation time. I started not eating so well. I started eating, like, just snacking rather than creating, healthy meals. And that really, I took a look at it after it was a little over a year. And then I finally said, what am I doing? And who am I really serving? Because right now I know that though the women that were in my group, I mean, they flourished and they did really well. And they created connections with each other that they wouldn't have had if they weren't within the group. But I just knew that, like, I was not serving them to the fullest potential because I wasn't feeling fulfilled and wasn't really taking care of myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, completely. And so oh my gosh, if we had 2 hours, because I know all of these different streets I want to go down with you right now. So did you know right away when you started teaching these classes and having the webinars and all of the online and doing the beautiful PowerPoints? Did you know then, was there any kind of inkling or a feeling inside of you as something that was knocking on you saying, I don't know if this is really it, but then you just went forward with it because like, well, I'm doing it. Did you know, or when did you start discovering that your healthy habits started dropping off? It's fascinating. I love it.
Yeah, actually, it was within a very short period of time. It was within even a couple of months, so I started creating everything, creating the webinars. And then I had my first group probably 5 months into creating Healthy Habits Girl, because I wanted to, and I have a kind of a type A personality and I wanted everything perfect. And so when I was creating these and the videos and the webinars and the PowerPoints, I would spend hours on them and hours on myself. And then I would stress out my family because my husband had to help me with everything because I didn't know how to record. I didn't know how to do a webinar. So he did all the background work. And he was getting tired. He's a full-time pharmacist and a life coach himself. He's got his own thing, and he's an author and a speaker.
Oh, wow.
So I just knew, I think I knew right away, but I kept listening to, all these podcasts that would tell you like to how to create things and how to keep going. And you want to just keep your goal in front of you. And at first I really thought that I wanted that. But then as I became deeper into that realm of like coaching and guiding, I just really knew that I wasn't listening to God anymore, and I wasn't listening to my heart. I was just pushing, and I wasn't. Now when I look back, I say, oh my gosh, I wasn't serving anyone. And I just felt like I want to do more because this is, I don't know if it's just this kind of mentality. I don't even know how to put words into it, where we want to push, we want to do more and get, help more people, or, and I just was going it all the wrong way.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is it, because I think this is what happens. And again, I'm going to speak for women, but I know this happens to men too, that we start going down a path and somehow our body lets us know, because I don't think it's our mind. I think it's our mind that says, keep going. Don't be a quitter. That goal's in front of you and you can reach it. And if you don't, and I don't know if this popped into your head, like if you quit now, you're a loser and you've wasted time and money, and all of the stories that we tell ourselves that completely are not true. But I think we have a tendency to not listen to our body, which is so beautiful, because here you're teaching healthy habits and your healthy habits are dropping. Your clients are being very successful. You're going the opposite way. And I think we end up driving ourselves into the ground because we're not listening to ourselves. So what do you think would have happened if at the very beginning, like when you were 5 months into it and you had your group or a couple of groups, however many groups you had going on at that time, and you were just like, oh my God, this just isn't, because this is what I always say. If God came and sat right in front of me and said, Nada, do this or don't do this, would I do that? And it's like, well, I'm kind of stubborn, so probably not. But if I was in a listening mood, I would say, yes, okay, I'll do that. But I think that's what our body does. I think our body is speaking to us and our heart saying, this just isn't for me. So what would have happened if you would have